My brothers and sisters in Christ, in my reflection on Saturday, I spoke of the fact that at every turn, the people of Israel would swear by the covenant with their leader, promise to give the Lord their whole heart, and almost always, whether with Moses, with Joshua, the very next chapter we see the people of Israel chasing false gods once again. And this is exactly the case. On Saturday, we heard the end of the life of Joshua in the book of Joshua, and the book of Judges picks up right after that as the people of Israel live in the promised land. And so at the end of the book of Joshua, the people swear and renew their covenant with the Lord and say, let this be the witness against us if we ever forsake him. And here we are at the beginning of the book of Judges, and they're following pagan gods. Such is the sad reality of God's people, including us, of being so fickle in heart. And so we see the description of what happens, which is when the people of Israel would stray in this way, bad things would happen. And this isn't merely punitive on the part of God, but instead is a disciplining of his people. And this is mirrored in the reality we hear in the gospel with the story of the rich young man who is desiring to follow Jesus, but Jesus looks into his heart and sees that the one thing that stands in the way is that he's clutching too tightly to his riches. And so he tells him, you need to go and sell what you have and give it to the poor. And this is one step the young man can't take, and he goes away sad. And so the problem is that we need not just an intellectual assent that the Lord is our God, but we have to learn to give ourselves over to divine providence, that our Father is our provider. And so this dependence on him is not just out of necessity, although it is necessary, as delusional as we may be sometimes that it's not. We truly do depend on him. But also, it is one that is for our own spiritual health. When we turn to him for everything, we are less prone to chase evil or to fall into pride, to seek to become our own provider and God. And so, when the people of Israel fall into great trouble, when they've strayed and nations plunder them, you'll see at almost every turn, when they hit rock bottom, suddenly they cry out to God again to deliver them. And he does. And not just because they've groveled, but because they've remembered their dependence on him, that everything they have depends on God, not on their own ingenuity, not on their own merits. And so you can't both follow God and chase pagan idols, or you can't follow God and be self-reliant and prideful in things, but instead to cultivate the disposition of heart that we need God for all things, and to put ourselves into his hands for our daily bread. The rich young man is unable to do this, and this is a challenge for each and every one of us. It's not necessarily riches. It can be different things for different people. That one thing that we just cling to, that we can't hand over to God. But unless we can, we will never flourish in a life of grace with him, but we will always be erecting our own barriers. God does not seek to punish just out of anger towards us, but he seeks to discipline us, to train us. And sometimes bad things need to happen to us, not just because of the sins of others, but sometimes we have to be humbled to remember to turn back to him for our true flourishing. Sometimes it is when things seem to be going their best that we are in the biggest danger zone spiritually, because we grow prideful and self-reliant and forget what God has done for us, and that all that we are, all that we have, comes from him. May God bless you all.